Hello everyone, my name is Masha, and today I'm going to be speed knotting this Slytherin house bracelet. Before we get into the time lapse, I want to mention that currently there is a competition running where you can win your house bracelet, including this one. I have already made a video for the Hufflepuff house bracelet, which will be linked in the card and in the description, and I'm also planning on making Gryffindor and Ravenclaw bracelets as well, and all 4 of those I will be giving away in the competition. So if you want to find out more about that, stick around to the end of the video. Happy New Year, everyone! I cannot believe it's 2020 already. That is insane. I hope everyone had a lovely New Year's Eve and a New Year's celebration. I know that for sure I did. I spent the New Year with my husband, just the 2 of us, and we had a very lovely evening. It was great because we also have a pretty high up balcony and we could see all of these fireworks going off all around the city because a lot of people were setting off fireworks in our neighborhood, and one was like really close to us, so could really see it right up in our faces. It was lovely. We just had a lovely evening, and then I beat him in Super Mario so many times, so that was lovely as well. I really enjoyed that. But anyway, this is not my first video of 2020 actually. I just posted my alpha tutorial a couple days ago, but still Happy New Year. So, Slytherin, huh? I had mixed feelings about Slytherin when I was a kid, obviously because it was portrayed as like the evil house in the book. As a kid, I never really liked Slytherin, but then growing up and, you know, thinking more about from an adult perspective, I realized that it was more to do with the portrayal of the house rather than the house itself. So I actually thought of myself as a Slytherin for a little bit there. My story with the Hogwarts houses is basic. Okay, go away. My story with the Hogwarts houses is basically that originally I thought of myself as a Gryffindor, but then I sort of went through that angsty teen phase and I thought that I was a Slytherin, when in reality I was a Ravenclaw all along, and that makes perfect sense. That's actually what I was sorted in on Pottermore, and that actually makes 100% sense for me. It just fits. So at one point I considered myself a Slytherin. But yeah, I definitely have a new appreciation for the Slytherin house because, as I said, I did have a sort of negative view of it, as I bet a lot of you guys did as well, purely because of how they were portrayed in the books. But in reality, they ain't so bad. They ain't so bad. I saw that a lot of you guys commented under my Hufflepuff video that a lot of you guys are also from Slytherin, so hopefully you are here as well and enjoying this video. I definitely had a fun time knotting this. The Hufflepuff bracelet, oh, I made a mistake here, that's annoying. The Hufflepuff bracelet I actually made once before. I don't think my friend actually knows this, but I have a friend who is a Hufflepuff, and I made a Hufflepuff bracelet for her that I wanted to give to her by the exact same pattern. And then I lost it. And I'm still so annoyed with myself, and I'm so confused because I made her 2 bracelets. I made her a normal friendship bracelet and a Hufflepuff bracelet, and then I have another friend who I made a normal bracelet for as well. And I was in Moscow at the time, and these friends, they live in London, so I was packing my bag, and I definitely remember putting those bracelets into my suitcase, but then when I arrived, they were nowhere to be found. And to this day, I still haven't found them, and that was like over a year ago. So I genuinely don't know what happened. It's not in Moscow. I've been since then to Moscow multiple times. I've searched for it. It's nowhere in London. I even moved a flat since then, so even if it like got lost somewhere, I would have found it by then. And I genuinely have no idea where it went. Like, not a clue. The only thing I can possibly think of is someone stole it from my luggage, but nothing else was taken, so I don't know, it's just a really weird situation. But basically, yeah, I've made this, the Hufflepuff pattern once before, but the Slytherin one was a completely new one to me, so that was quite interesting. I quite enjoyed it. I tried to, I wanted to go for slightly different shades of green, but I ended up choosing these ones because I didn't have enough of the other one for the background. So with alpha bracelets, of course, you need a lot of string, especially for your background string. You need to have a lot of string, and it has to be the same string, because if it's a different string, you're gonna see it because the background color is gonna change. And a background color is going to be more than one skein of string, definitely. And in my case, I have a lot of string. Like, I genuinely do. I'm very fortunate to have a lot of string. I have a lot of embroidery floss, a lot of craft cord, a lot of DMC cotton pearl, and just a ton of string in general. But most of the string that I only have one skein of. And even if I find similar strings, they're not similar enough to qualify for the same sort of background. I can't just use two similar looking threads because, first of all, they might be slightly different thickness, which is going to result in a whole mess of the knots being different sizes and the bracelet going all bumpy. But also, even if it's like slightly different shade, you are going to see that when you change it. So you really have to use the same string. And the only string that I had that was green and that I had a lot of was the Prism string from the tie-dye pack. Because the tie-dye pack by Prism comes with some strings that aren't tie-dye as well. And this was part of it. I had like 4 skeins of this. And I think I used 2, I believe, or something like that. So yeah, I definitely need to either buy strings in like double, or just in general, I need to stock up my string collection, because when I was doing just normal patterns, it really didn't matter. I could just take whatever I wanted and, you know, make whatever I want. Usually for one bracelet, unless it's like a really big bracelet where you use a lot of that color, usually one skein is enough. But yeah, now that I started doing alphas more, and I really have, these 4 house bracelets, plus I did the one for the tutorial recently, plus all the sort of festive and holiday ones that I did, and just I've been trying to practice my alpha skills more. I need more string, and that's ridiculous because my house is filled with string, but you know, things like this happen. But I am really happy with the color choices in the end. I was sort of skeptical because they seem a little bit too, I don't know, flat. I don't know how to describe it, but like something didn't sit right with me when I was picking out the colors, but I decided to go for it anyway since, I mean, I didn't really have a choice. But the way that it turned out, I'm actually really happy with it. You'll see in the Gryffindor and the Ravenclaw bracelets when I post those, that those colors are also sort of very, I don't know, basic and flat. There's not, I really don't know how to describe it, I'm probably sounding crazy. There's no nuance to them, they're just like basic sort of blue and for the Ravenclaw and like red for the Gryffindor ones. But still, I'm still quite enjoying how all the bracelets are turning out. I'm still not finished with the other 2. I'm sort of in the process of them, but still. I'm very happy with how this one turned out. It turned out much smoother than the Hufflepuff one, which I was quite surprised by. I thought that they would all turn out the same, but this one turned out much straighter. The edges were much straighter, which is really nice. I was quite happy with that. So hopefully whoever gets this one will enjoy it. Oh, by the way, your guys' response to the competition, wow. I mean, I was expecting you guys to be excited, but the response has just been overwhelming. I'm really, really happy. People have already started submitting bracelets, which is crazy. There's still a whole month to go, and people have already gotten some submissions in, and I'm really enjoying it. I love seeing your guys' stories and posts on Instagram with stuff that you are doing for the competition, or just for the monthly challenges as well. I really enjoy just like this sort of interaction. Because, I'm just in my room talking to a camera. It's nice to know that there are actual people out there who are also interested. It feels like part of a community, because it is. It's part of a community, and I really like this community that we have going. So yeah. I need to finish the Harry Potter books because I'm literally still on book 2. I go through these sort of spurts with reading, you may have noticed, where I don't read for like a long, long time, and then I read a lot and I talk about it a lot, both in my vlogs and on Instagram. And then I just stop reading again, and I've been going through sort of a reading slump for the past, month, I think. I've been in a slump where I just haven't read anything at all. I really need to read, because I actually really enjoy reading, and I really want to get through the Harry Potter books because I just love them so much. They just make me so happy. They really do. there's a lot that's also very interesting about the books. This time lapse is ending, so I'm going to talk about this in the next Harry Potter one. But there's a lot in the Harry Potter books that just like doesn't quite fit right and doesn't quite make sense, which makes me really laugh. Because as much as I love the books, I also love like nitpicking and finding like these tiny things that just like don't quite sit right. So yeah, well, I'll talk about that in the next one because we're running out of time here. But these little sort of dots at the end of the bracelet, they always get me because I always want to, like, when I finish knotting the word, the name of the house, I really just want to get the bracelet done with, and then you have to make these like tiny dots at the end, and it's like, they're never ending. There's so many of them. But yeah, I'm a little bit impatient by the end of the bracelet. By making that last line of black is just so satisfying. It's like closing off this bracelet. I am done. So yeah, but yeah, I'm really happy with how this one turned out. I think it looks really, really nice. I love these patterns so much. I don't know who created them originally, but I've been seeing them go around for years and I love them. They are so, so cool. All right, so now let's talk about the rules of the competition and how you can enter. As I mentioned previously, I've already done a Hufflepuff bracelet. The video for that is linked in the description, and I'm also going to be doing Gryffindor and Ravenclaw. So whatever Hogwarts house you are, you will have the chance to win a bracelet representing that. The rules for each of the bracelets are exactly the same. So I want this to be a little bit more meaningful. I don't want to just run a giveaway. I want you guys to have the chance to express yourselves creatively. So what I want you guys to do is I want you to make a bracelet representing your house. And this can be any bracelet. You have full creative freedom. It can also be things like a keychain. You can use any pattern you want, alpha or normal. You can even create your own patterns. Once you're finished with your creation, I want you to take a photo of that, post it to Instagram, tag me in the photo so I can see it directly from my profile, and use the hashtag #NotWithMasha. If you don't have Instagram or your account is private, you can also email me your pictures, but I would much rather prefer you do it from Instagram if you can, so please try to do it there first, just because it's easier for me to gather all the photos from Instagram. And I know what you may be thinking. There is no way that I can compete with these amazing bracelet makers that I see on Instagram. Don't worry, I won't necessarily be choosing the bracelet based on how pretty or well made it is. I want to give everyone a fair chance, and I know that there's people who are just starting out as well, so what you make can be anything from even a chevron, as long as it is clearly understandable what house you are representing. It would also be helpful if you mentioned in the caption what house you're going for. Whatever house the bracelet is made for will be the house bracelet that you are competing to win. But most of all, I want you guys to have fun. I just want this to be a fun thing that we can do as a community together. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you want to watch how I made the Hufflepuff bracelet, as I said, the video for that is linked in the description. The Gryffindor and Ravenclaw bracelets will be coming out in the next couple of weeks as well. I post videos on Wednesdays and Saturdays, and I'll see you next time. Bye!